potentially Thrall or that Kael'thas. Curious as to how much these regions study NA and EU. Because we all know that we watch those regions. I'm just curious as to how much they care about the other regions and if they will catch on to what we're running. ETC is going to be the ban here for Zero Panda TV. Would love to see TSD ban out Zool, as it is very likely we'll see a Zool first pick here from Zero Panda.
Yeah. Looking at some of the other things that they could have seen from TSD, they played their first pick and Thrall both of their games yesterday, but there's going to be the Zool ban, so likely we'll see them try to get Thrall again, especially for that solo lane presence potentially, and of course the fact that he can dictate a fight, Sundering. Oh, but first picking up Sylvanas.
Yeah, getting a good pusher, no matter what happened with that ban from Zool or onto Sylvanas. So good map control so far coming up from Zero Panda. Illidan going to be a pick up here for TSD as well as Tassadar. So instantly locking in Illidan and Tassadar. And this could be scary for TSD as Illidan is really good, but you can still pick and play around him.
Yeah.
And picking him this early and locking in the Tassadar this early allows Zero Panda TV to draft very easily around this.
That's something that they were not playing yesterday, so that's cool to see them bring out a different style. But Muradin KT looking very strong for Zero.
KT.
Next up,
So they are watching today.
Why do you say that?
Because I picked KT.
They played KT yesterday.
Yeah, but yesterday one team played KT and it was the last pick, wasn't it? Like towards the end of the draft. This is an early pick on Kael'thas. People are catching on. Yeah, don't
X team played KT. I thought somebody else did.
I thought it was only one game.
Yep, there is just one game. We'll see if it's picked up more. I like the Li Ming band too, with the KT pickup.
Yeah. Rhaegar and Greymane are going to be the next two picks here for TSD. So they do have a lot of support, and they do have a lot of damage between Illidan and Greymane, but they lack wave clear. They lack pushing power, and that's what this map's about. So they're going to have a really big difficulty getting the gems and turning them in if Zero Panda plays this right. There's the Tyrande Lily.
They are still trying to make this work. Hey, but it is up against Greymane and Illidan. They're really going after those blinds. Probably we'll see that, is it Mass Vortex, where it hits four instead of two? And Johanna as the warrior. Do you feel like they just threw this away?
No, because they still have Kael'thas. So if you're going to get away with a Lily pick, I guess it'll be when you have a Kael'thas.
And they have Tyrande to help with the supporting.
Yeah.
So they can spec fully into blinds. Did they even pick Lingering Blind at 1? I thought they did. Wait, is Lingering Blind at 1?
They didn't. They picked
I surprisingly don't know the Lily talents as much as Lingering Blind might be the one that's at 13.
It's the damage talent.
Okay.
Is the one that they took.
Oh, yes. Gale Force. Oh, no. You know what? Lingering Blind's at the same place as Mass Vortex. So it's either the blind lasts longer or it hits more people. Guess I gotta work on my Lily talents.
Yeah,
Didn't think that would be...
Do you think that would be what?
I mean, I study them, but not as hard as some of the other heroes, that's for sure. Game 1 starting out pretty soon on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Everything is a best of 3.
Yeah.
Zero using their Lily once again. This is the second time in 2 days, so they are really trying to make this a thing.
That guy looks like Leffen.
Who?
He's a Smash player from Sweden. The guy kind of looks like him. Well, guys, about to load into game number 1. 3 best of 3s today. This is the first one.
Yep.
Yep.
Zero Panda versus the Star Dream TSD. Here we go. That stage is sick.
Yeah. It is really, really good looking.
We are loading in to the realm of the web weavers.
To the realm of the web weavers. Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Or Spoder, depending.
Spoder. Tomb of the Spoder Queen.
Here is Zero Gaming in the blue with C playing Sylvanas XY on Murden, Top playing Tyrande, Ale on Lily, not as cool, and 6 playing Kael'thas. You want to introduce the other team or you want me to do it?
Nope.
Okay. And their opponents, the Star Dream in the red, otherwise known as TSD.
Man, this screen share is lagging so bad for me
Is
right
it?
now. Yeah. It's like 1 frame per second.
You want to just turn it on? GD on Tassadar, Monk playing Greymane. Again on Rhaegar, Wings playing Illidan, and Johanna is played by Kite. Do you want to just pull up the stream yourself? I don't know why it's lagging. I'm not dropping any frames on OBS or anything.
Try turning it off and on.
What do you mean off and on?
The screen share.
Oh, okay.
Lead game sounds, by the way.
Oh, yes. Gosh dang it.
All right, here, take a look at level 1 talents. It will be Arcane Barrier here on Kael'thas. Again, it's a map where you can get those 25 health globes, regen globes, rather, really easily here. Gravity Lapse goes down. A lot of damage on Illidan, and that's going to be a very easy first blood here for Zero Panda. Nice kill there. Really punishing him for his over-aggression.
All of the casters thinking that Zero is going to win this, except for one believer in the Star Dream. Celestial Attunement is the talent of choice for Tyrande, reducing the mana cost, I believe, of Light of Elune. It's not a common one that we see at level 1. Usually we see Empower or Ranger's Mark. But really focusing on her healing efforts there. Also, it's not going to be the more damage on Lily's Blind, which escapes me. The name escapes me at the moment. But Conjurer's Pursuit.
Yeah. Looking like pretty normal talents here coming out from these guys for the most part. We'll to see how they plan on controlling this early game, them being TSD. I've got a very difficult comp when it comes to just controlling the map. But they're being aggressive. That's what they need to be. It's actually causing XY to play a little bit more safe than you normally would see him. He's kind of more afraid to go out on the map. Lunar Flare comes out onto the Rhaegar. Not going to be able to secure a kill there. Take a look at the gem count. It's 34-28 in favor of Zero.
Yeah, TSD slightly behind in experience because of that kill earlier on, but it's still definitely anyone's game for that first turn into, as both teams pretty close in those gyms. TSD just continuing with their rotations. They've got Greymane in the bottom versus Lily. Lily is actually a pretty good level, like early game hero. She does some damage.
Yeah, she is very good harass. It's very easy to get it off to. There's not too much. There's no skill shots involved with it, right? It's just kind of you hit your buttons and it just kind of spreads between the enemies. So yeah, she can really dump out some damage early on. Small level 4, we are seeing the cooldown reduction, of course, which is what makes her one of the reasons why she is such a powerful pick right now. And on Kael'thas, I believe that's speed and mana return on Gravity Lapse.
No, that's the cooldown one.
That is cooldown reduction? Okay, I always mix up the colors.
Yeah, I'm still getting to know them and the names too.
It is the cooldown reduction, which is what we normally see here. So, stun goes out onto Tassadar. He does get the phase shift. He's going to have to kite it back. A lot of damage going down onto XY. If he goes down here, this could be bad. He gets healed up. There's the Dwarf Toss to potentially body block any damage coming at him. And really well done there from Zero, keeping Kael alive.
TSD has the better turn-in so far. They've gotten 36 into the bank and are still trying to continue that turn-in as they also continue to keep them pushing them back up here in the top. It is Mass Vortex, by the way, so we're looking at being able to hit more people with that blind from Lily. And they're trying to stop the the turn-in for TSD to be able to get that first Web Weaver phase. Zero almost have level 7, so have a bit of an advantage, but not after that as Kael'Thas gets taken out, and that'll be first blood on the side of TSD.
Yeah, really just overextending. You got to respect the Illidan and Greymane. They just have so much dive and so much burst potential, especially when you mix in the Rhaegar with who can get the Feral Lunge in for a little bit more burst. 8 gems being turned in there by Illidan. Rhaegar going to... well, they actually had enough. I guess it can't count. So yeah, first Web responding here for TSD. Let's see what damage they can do with this push. So again, they don't really have the best pushing power here. And with Sylvanas, Kael'Thas, they should be able to clear this up very quickly. I wouldn't be too concerned with how much damage Zero will take in this from this.
Lightning Serpents.
What happened?
What?
Oh, you got really quiet for a
sorry.
second.
I was looking at something. Lightning Serpent, the talent choice for Lily. Trying to keep us up to date on those. And they're going to start fighting with these Web Weavers. With the early Web Weaver phase like this, you're really just looking to get as many towers down as possible. It's pretty difficult to actually be able to take out a fort, except if you are Zero, because they do have Sylvanas. So TSD know that they need to be pretty aggressive here, and they are making it happen with all of the members in mid. And the rotation's a little bit slow to try to stop this from Zero Panda, and that means that they're going to be able to get a super early fort, but they may lose people for it as TSD having to go back into the fight. Wings with shielding is pushing back Zero, trying to allow his teammates to be able to leave, and Wings will barely escape, also being able to dodge the Stormbolt. They're kind of still going back and forth into this fight. It's cool to see them leave, reset, and then go back in when they heal back up. But they're getting pretty low. The other Web Weavers have fallen too. And they got a lot done with that. That's great.
There's a lot of spread damage between Sylvanas and Kael'Thas, so they can do some serious poke. 88 gems on the end of Zero here. We're looking to be getting a turn-in very, very soon. Haven't turned in any gems yet, but... have more than enough to get a turn in here. Tassadar might be in trouble here. Has to phase shift. Illidan goes in for a little bit of poke with dive, but not going to get any kills just yet. They're playing this pretty safe. TSC doesn't want to overextend as they do have a slight experience, so getting into 10.
We are getting close to those heroic abilities, like you mentioned, 102 gems. That's crazy. Already being held by Zero, not turning any in yet. Usually you see teams trying to get them and start to turn in, but it seems like they're either afraid of the aggression or just wanting to play it safe. Either way, though, that's going to make it to where it's going to get scarier and scarier for them to get into a fight. Yeah, 49 already. They might be able to get a second turn in a row here before they...
This is really surprising play from Zero. They're playing extremely passive.
Yeah.
They're just too afraid of the Illidan Greymane, and they're getting punished again for just a slight overextension. They're very spread out here. Kael'Thas can't be with just Tyrande Sylvanas. He needs to be with the Muradin. He needs to be with the Lily, but Panda Ale does end up getting in. Excuse me, Ale rather, I guess. Ends up getting in that Web Weaver turn in. So, despite not having 10, they're going to be able to stabilize here, get caught up on experience, and get some damage with this Web Weaver.
I've been pretty surprised by TSD, not yesterday, but also today. I mean, yeah, they were up against some pretty strange comp, and we weren't very sure about Braveheart, but they still are playing like they belong here for sure, especially considering the fact that they've got several new members of their own. They've grabbed their heroic abilities, everything very standard. Metamorphosis not going to be the hunt that we saw from Cognitive, I believe, yesterday when they played Illidan.
Yeah, on Sky Temple.
And it's the Shadow Stalk versus Starfall for Tyrande. Everything else super standard for Zero.
Yeah, going a more supporter style here, Tyrande. Not going for the damage build we've been seeing over the last few days. Ale in a bad spot. Force Wall comes out. Not going to catch him, but catches top. Turn around on the Tassadar, forces the phase shift. And that consistently seems to be their target in this fight, is trying to kill Tassadar, which is really hard to do. Metamorphosis has been used. Ancestral Healing connects with them. They're turning this fight around. Chain Bomb actually spreading a lot here, and the first death is going to be Greymane.
Yeah, and the rest of TSD are pretty low. Dimensional Shift will save GD for now. Kite is in trouble too, and a good Stormbolt will ensure her demise. And with this, the Web Weavers have been pushing this whole time, and with Sylvanas, they'll make quick work of this top fort. The other two forts are safe, so they've evened up the structural advantage and taken a small lead in experience. But still, with 49 gems in the bank, it's a pretty quick and easy turn-in for TSD once they can get back out there.
Rotations here from Zero. Up 3 kills to 2 right now. They did even up that structure count. And they had to have 84 gems here. Nice interrupt here from the Totem Lightning Shield combo from Rhaegar. Going to be able to stall out this turn in here. Both teams do have enough. If Rhaegar can get in this 11, that would be huge for him. Zero does rotate up, and the rotation from TSD is slow. They should be able to get this turn in up here, and they do. I can't believe they didn't follow them up there.
Wow, yeah.
Not sending Joanna up was a big mistake there, and that's going to be another turn in here for Zero.
All right, they have the Sylvanas, so we'll see what they do with it. But this time, everybody from TSD is up and back in the base, ready for the defense. They've got to clear out top lane. It's pushed pretty far already to their fort. The nice thing about having the top fort down for Zero is that if they can get a boss later on, it's going straight to the keep, whereas that is not the case for TSD. But it looks like mid is where they're going to choose a siege with Sylvanas in the bottom too, so they're going to force TSD to try to decide where they want to try to defend. Sylvanas even coming up to the mid now as they're about to get level 13, and they know that TSD are going to be really hesitant to fight into that.
Yeah, this is a really big push because of that talent advantage, and we're going to see how they can push this even further. Haunting Wave talent taken at level 13, which is the refresh on Q stacks, as well as the second Haunting Wave usable. So really not even going to be about the damage with taking that talent. Having the extra escape versus the Illidan Greymane is going to be really nice. Being able to Haunting Wave twice just for the survivability is really important.
TSD are protecting their final fort. The Web Weaver in the mid is still pushing, but they've been able to take out this one. And Web Weaver phase concludes. TSD going to try to get 13. Hopefully they can get some gems turned in and start to relieve the minion pressure here in their lanes.
Fort's just about to go down about half HP. Looks like they should be able to get this as a decent siege. They might be trying to force a fight here. Tassadar or Illidan's going in deep. Getting some damage onto Sylvanas. Shadowstalk's been used very early. Force Wall does come out. Damage is spreading here between Sylvanas and Kael'thas, but Kael'thas is going to go down.
Chug of 1,000 cups, keeping them alive, but now it is done. And Kite and Illidan are still on the chase as the Wailing Arrow came out to silence, and that it may have just done them in. Ancestral Healing keeps Kite alive, but Greymane and Rhaegar are low in the back, so not sure how much more they can do here trying to fight underneath the fort. They still have a lot to turn in if they can just maybe rotate someone up and slow down the rotations from Zero long enough to turn it in. They're trying to do just that, as again, should be able to get this turn in. And now they can start to move the lanes back toward the structures of Zero.
Full level lead still, not about full level lead, half level lead here for Zero as we're getting closer and closer to level 16. TSD is going to be looking for some value with this push, even up the map pressure, as they are down down 2 forts to the 1 fort of Zero. And Web Weaver's pushing bottom lane with Illidan. The rest of the team is rotating mid to potentially get a fight. And Zero's playing very safe. They immediately back out.
Yeah. Where are they going to push? Looks like bottom lane is where they want to go. They have a lot of pressure. The tower's already down. And the fort is exposed, and they will make quick work of this and may even continue pushing in this bottom lane and try to put some damage onto the towers in the bottom. Looks like they are going to rotate. Nope.
The push is happening down in this bottom. Still very healthy with the Web Weaver. They get one wall of the towers down. If they can get this front wall before the Web Weaver gets here, this could be some serious damage to the keep. They're still defending mid lane right now. Tassadar is going to go ahead and rotate down. It depends on what TSD wants to do with this push, but it looks like after getting the front wall, they're willing to just back out. Not willing to risk getting a little bit too greedy here. They know they're going to have an advantage going into 16, and want to be ready to contest that.
I like where Tassadar was standing. Since he's like the highly escapable one, they had him standing there so that he can oracle and watch for the rotations in. The aggressive rotations from Zero. But this game's been pretty back and forth and experienced. TSD now with the lead, almost to their level 16 talents. Both teams have enough for a turn-in, so they're both just anchoring around, watching for those. Looking to see who can get it first.
Whoop, Zero just about to be halfway to level 16. TSD needs to kill a few more minions here, and that's what Joanna's doing, trying to secure them that. And that's going to force just Zero to instantly back out. I mean, you see them retreat immediately. And that's going to be another turn in here for TSD. They've got some serious pressure on the map as both mid and bottom are shoved in. This could turn into one keep, and if things go well for TSD, it could turn into two very easily.
I like that they are focusing on bottom again too. The lane's already still pushed from the Webweaver phase beforehand, and they know that that keep is open and exposed, and they want to just open up a potential for them to win off of a team fight later. It's all about making sure that they have that win condition active for them. And here comes the Webweaver. Zero still not 16 yet, so they have to be careful about how they engage into this. And Wings is going in.
Wings going to take some damage there from the poke, but going to get shielded up by Tassadar. A lot of damage going down on the Joanna. He's going to kite it back. Phoenix has been used. This keeps definitely going down, though. Gilly Webweaver's still half HP. No saying that Bless Shield comes out. A lot of damage going down the Muradin. He gets hit by the Condemn. That's going to be a turnaround kill very easily on the Illidan, and the keep's still standing. Gilly Greymane is in deep. Gravity Lapse goes down to him from Kael'thas, and wow, what a turnaround from Zero.
Yeah, Greymane trying to sacrifice himself for the keep, and they didn't get it. 3 members now on the run from TSD. The Webweavers starting to be cleaned up by Sylvanas in the mid, and then they could rotate to the top 2. The top still has a ways to go, but all of the forts have been taken out by Zero. TSD, even with losing those 2 heroes, they're still ahead in experience, but it's definitely... You definitely thought they were going to be able to get that keep, and they even left somebody in to sacrifice a second person for it. And not being able to get that is pretty disheartening for them.
Yeah, that's a huge win here for Zero. They're going to go ahead and start taking their Bruiser camp. They do have enough for a turn-in as they are sitting on 97 gems, so they can contest that. They're on even tier now. And yeah, it's kind of crazy the difference how a fight changed when your Kael'thas actually does what he's supposed to or not. He is a very good hero right now. I think a lot of people will be considering him S tier right now. But you have to be good with him, and you have to. It's very important that you land your Gravity Lapse, and XY has been struggling with that all this game. But that fight, he landed some money ones, like that one right there, and you see how Tassadar just immediately goes from 100 to almost dead.
Yeah, I mean, Netherwind used to increase the range and the speed, and now the only thing you can get is a range increase, and not having a speed increase makes it so that it's definitely a skill shot to hit Gravity Lapse, whereas before the speed could help you out with that. If you have somebody who can start off the stun chain like a Johanna or an Uther, then that helps, but otherwise, you know, you're really relying on your ability to hit that stun and get your damage from that Gravity Crush. But here we're getting into the fight. Illidan getting stunned to Oblivion. Ancestral Healing keeps him alive a little longer, but Gravity Lapse still has been hitting him. He got hit by like 3 stuns in a row, yet he still continues the fight. Force Wall trying to help stop the members from being able to escape the chase of TSD. They take one person out, but look how low they are, even with this 2 support. But yet somehow, some way, they take out 2 people, and Muradin will go down too. And they're pinging. They know that they have an entryway to take out a keep, potentially the game. But these guys are super low. They do have a double support though, so they're starting to heal themselves back up.
Yeah, this is probably going to be game here. Gillies are going on the core, the double support, topping them off very, very well. And yeah, I mean, it was a really well played game from Zero, but I got to be real with you. Lily did nothing this game. Blinds weren't near effective enough. You have to keep in mind that both Greymane and Illidan do a decent amount of ability damage. It's not just auto damage, so the blinds only help so much. She struggled to heal through any of that burst because, well, it's a Lily support. They've tried this twice now. It's failed very hard twice. They need to just drop the Lily. It's not getting any value.
Illidan, I like that you mentioned too that the Lily blinds didn't affect their ability damage, because that helped me realize why Illidan took Hunter's Onslaught at 7. I was trying to wonder, but basic abilities healing for 25% of the damage they deal, and then double versus heroes means that even if initially he's being blinded and the auto attacks aren't healing him, he can still get some heal, some self-sustain from the abilities. So that's cool. Yeah, I don't think we'll see the Lily again.
I sure hope not. Are they getting married?
I don't know.
With all the white.
They were doing that yesterday too, remember? I don't know.
No.
Gold League's always doing crazy stuff. I miss the Murlocs.
Nope, not me. What happened to the other casters?
What do you mean?
There's the other casters. Like the guy with the funny face.
Were they casting Group A?
No, they were casting last season.
I know.
haven't seen them
Has
this
it been
season.
only these people? These
Yeah.
guys?
I like the other guys.
Wings has been the MVP a couple of times now for them. I like the other guys too.
What is that?
For those of you who don't know, they just like went like this. They all went like that at the same time. Yeah, I miss the other guys too. I don't know. There was Sweater Guy, and then there was like Jolly Guy, the guy who was messing with the Murlocs the most. That's how I know that. One guy wears a lot of sweaters and one guy's always laughing and happy.
Well, hopefully draft number 2 starts.
Should be soon. They had matching sweater tans. I know. And they were like Christmas sweaters. And it was in January, so it wasn't like a Christmas thing. I'll be real if they pick Lily again. I'm just muting the stream and making highlights from last night. Yes, end of days. We are pretty tired. We had a full day of casting yesterday. And I don't know about you, but I have a hard time going to sleep right after casting. Like my brain is still in and like must analyze games, talents, things mode.
I just go to bed.
You do? My brain is just like racing and I'm still thinking of heroes, terms and stuff. Like I'm still casting games in my head even though I'm not looking at a game. It's weird. It takes me a while for my brain to switch off of that. Too much adrenaline. Yeah, for sure. It's weird. Sometimes I do that when I'm at events too. I'm less so now because I'm more used to it, but when I was first starting out and going to events, I wasn't used to like the constant talking and like people talking. And so I would go to sleep and still hear like what people were saying throughout the day. And I was like, brain, just go to sleep. But I've gotten a lot more used to that. But still not with casting completely. I used to have dreams where I would be casting and I would like dream that I fell asleep casting, and so then I would wake up and be like, oh, I fell asleep casting. So then I'll like wake up and be like, what a crazy game, or something like that. But like actually say that out loud, my husband would be like, what? You're sleeping, go back to sleep. The casting dreams are real. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
They were taking a long time for this draft.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I am just drained today.
I know, right? Are you gonna take a nap before? Oh my gosh, Ogre yonder in the house. I was just talking about you, Ogre.
Cal.
Are you not going to bed yet, or are you just waking up? Because it is 3:45 where you are.
Cal.
He's saying Carl in a weird way.
Car.
That is really funny. It's 3:45. What is taking this draft so long? I want a burrito. I want a breakfast burrito. Aren't you, robot? Oh, that sounds amazeballs. Like just a giant tortilla, some scrambled eggs, put some bacon, put some cheese.
KO ordered calzone, so I have one of those.
That sounds good too. I wanted pizza last night, and Phoenix Sniper was like, I'd send you a pizza, but I don't think they'll deliver one from Denton because, like, we're both in Texas. I think Ogre just came in, said hi, and then went to bed. What a burger, honey butter chicken biscuit. Oh my gosh, X30. Those are so good. I'm glad you understand the love that is Whataburger.
Gotta go with the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich every time. Ain't no time for that small shit.
Have you had their chicken biscuit? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, have you had their honey barbecue chicken strip sandwiches?
No.
They're too good to not get that every
Oh,
single
thank goodness. So in true Zero fashion, they have chosen first pick. Wait. Did that happen? Yes. Which means TSD has map pick yet again. And they have picked Sky Temple.
Do you think C9 can recover in DreamHack Austin? No, they're done. GG, disband Dink.
He is being sarcastic.
All 5 of those were players are retiring and moving on to Clash of Kings. And they're going to represent Cloud9 in the next coming tournament for Clash.
It is time for the draft.
I like his hair. I wish my hair could be like that.
Your hair's too curly.
I know.
You could get it professionally straightened.
That sounds hard.
It's not very good for your hair, that's for sure.
She said.
Did she?
You just said it.
I'm vegetarian. Can you please stop triggering me? I'm sorry. You can get a breakfast burrito.
With ham and turkey and bacon and
that has eggs,
sausage
and cheese and portobello mushrooms.
And bacon.
No.
Sausage.
Veggies.
Ham. Hell, even throw pepperoni in there.
Oh my gosh. And this is how we annoy people. Why is this draft taking so long? Who took a long bathroom break?
There's Leffen. Not this guy.
That hair is awesome.
The other guy. Yeah, I wish I could have hair like that and then dye it blue or pink or purple.
Yeah, I mean, something to remember though is that they did have to play longer than other people on the patch. They generally take breaks after big events. I think as long as they qualify, they will look good at the event actual. I think it's just one of those things. I mean, look at everyone.
Oh, what's up, Sohinky?
Everyone said that in hi Sohinky. Good to see you. Everyone was like freaking out when they lost an Eventic at Heroes Rising and then they beat an Eventic at regionals. So it's just one of those things where they kind of are going through the phase. They probably didn't think that they would struggle with qualifying. And you know, like I said, knowing them, they take breaks after events and stuff, and there wasn't a ton of time to do that. But it's important to be able to give yourself some rest every once in a while. So I wouldn't be
Will
too
this
worried.
draft start today?
I know, right?
I mean, man.
I'm going back to cams.
That was a good time for that because that kid was mega picking his nose.
He still is.
Dude, he was going hard.
Yeah, they have an admin problem.
They have an admin problem?
Or not an admin problem, but like a problem with the, like, look, that guy is tilted. He was like yelling at the people behind him. Group nap time. Go.
I don't take naps. I slumber for several hours, sometimes years.
I understand, Big Fat Eli. I am a Cloud9 fan too.
Ew.
What? Cloud9?
Yeah. I hate those guys. Check out Space Lads episode 2. First pick, first ban for Sky Temple. 0. What will they end up denying? They're going to go ahead and ban out the Zul, not even wanting to deal with it, not wanting to run it on this map. His push is just way too good.
And TSD. Wonder if they'll ban Kilthos. I think really he was the only one that gave them a ton of trouble last game.
Could ban Falstad.
That's true too. Illidan.
Double presence. They're just going to go ahead and deny the Illidan. Will 0 be... I like how it looks just like Leffen, but the Chinese version
You are just so tilted by that.
is so crazy. It's just like, not even just the face, just like his attitude and how he speaks. It's blowing my mind.
Oh my gosh. Stark actually put exclamation point Space Lads into Nightbot.
Nice. Good call. We're going to use that a lot during
No! There's Falstad.
It's a good episode. Yeah, and I talked about the Falstad ban. Letting it through on this map is a struggle. The global presence is really, really good.
Yeah. Also, Mighty Gus can really change up a fight. And there's always the boss to consider for that too. 2 picks for TSD. No Illidan for them this time, and I've told you they were really highly prioritizing Thrall yesterday, as well as Greymane. Leeming too. I wonder if they'll pick Dahaka here to match the global, and they played him yesterday. There's the Thrall.
Yeah. And Rhaegar. Orc boys!
Dude, I would be so down for another Dahaka game.
I'm so down for an Orc boys game.
Orc boys!
TSD getting mad value with Rhaegar last game, so no surprise this game to see him picked up early. Next 2 picks here for 0. Got a lot of damage still on the table. Kael'thas is available. They did struggle to play with it last time, though. Lacking a... I guess just lacking a solid Kael'thas player. It's brutal, but... that was just really sloppy play. Several gravity laps missing, and when you talent that much into it with the cooldown reduction at 4, the damage application at 7, like the build relies on you landing
gravity laps.
Gravity lapses, and it was just whiff after whiff.
Is it because they were relying on like Stormbolt hitting first and then going for it, or just you think that the KT
I just think it
players
was mechanical displays.
Got it.
Because he was verdant sphering it every time. When you get the movement speed increase on it, I mean, there's no excuse not to hit it, unless like it's just barely out of range, right? But he was just always mistiming it.
He didn't get the range increase. He got the cooldown reduction.
No, what I'm saying is like if the only excuse you have for missing is if it just barely doesn't hit them because they're out of range. Like you just tried to hit it in too far. But with that many melee versus him, Greymane, Illidan always over him, you should be able to land your gravity lapses, but wasn't able to. And you're not going to get value with that hero because of that. Murden, Uther are the bans. No surprise, as ETC's on one side and Rhaegar is on the other.
They're going to Dahaka. With that Murden, I bet they Dahaka.
They don't have a choice, really, in my opinion. They kind of have to.
Yeah.
With Falstad, with the global presence and the potential of stage dive on ETC as a double global presence, they need something to counteract it. They've already got a Rhaegar, so they can't go Brightwing.
Dahaka Brightwing.
Really not a good Abathur map. Greymane, Li Ming. So lots of damage. This is a composition these 4 heroes specifically, we saw on the previous patch before Dahaka came out. Just 4 really powerful hero picks. Kind of discussing double resets with Thrall.
Ones that we know, too. The ones that we know TSD cannot play. They've played all of those. They prioritized all of those. Zeratul Karazim going to be the final 2 for Zero. And now do we see Dahaka?
I really was liking Zero Panda's draft until the Zeratul Karazim.
What would you have wanted support-wise?
I think double support would have been fine here. I think going Karazim Tass.
Yeah.
Karazim Tronda would have been better. I don't know how much value the Zeratul is going to get this game.
It's kind of weird. Is really hunting down Li Ming, and she can go teleport builds.
Well, we'll see how this game's going to go. Last game was pretty one-sided. There was moments where Zero actually did what they were supposed to, and they were starting to claw their way back into the game, but we'll see. This is a different map. I definitely feel that, again, on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Zero had the better draft, and they got kind of stomped. And this game, I don't think they have the better draft.
Agreed. Were you surprised by Johanna instead of Dahaka?
No. Dahaka hasn't seemed to caught on in most regions. I think it's caught on the hardest in Europe. NA still is willing to run them on certain maps.
I was surprised. I was a little bit surprised since they played him yesterday, and it seemed like he would be such a good fit there, but maybe they really wanted, since they do have like the 3 full-on damage dealers, they wanted more of the control and a good front line. It could have also been seeing Zeratul come out, and they wanted Johanna to be able to like pull people off of Li Ming.
Lines are nice. Though, Dahaka Li Ming, as we saw a lot yesterday, is a duo.
Rex!
Dahaka lands the drags,
So
and then Li Ming
good.
unloads her full combo.
Yeah, that was wrecking.
So that is opposed to, dude, he looks just like Leffen. It is crazy.
Oh my god,
It is
stop.
crazy. Why is a Smash player from Sweden over here playing HOTS?
Stop.
It's crazy.
So Hinky says Land of the Slaughter is so legit now. I'm surprised people don't run him.
There's just too many heroes in the meta that counter him.
Yeah, the problem with Butcher is you're so all in.
Yeah. And that gets punished pretty hard
It
right
does
now.
get punished so hard.
Meta's all about sustain. First meta ever comes back, it definitely will be. See, even Wolf! Even Wolf says it. He looks like Leffen. I'm not crazy, man.
Wolf! Stop it! Don't
not
encourage
crazy.
this. He literally says, oh god, it's the music. Every time the music.
Well, guys, we're going into game number 2 here. Currently, we have Zero down 0-1 versus TSD. See if they can close out this set now, or will we have a tied series? We haven't had very many of those. I think only one of the sets in this entire week has gone to game 3.
Did you have, it wasn't yesterday. It must have been when you were casting.
It was Friday, I believe.
Here is Zero Gaming, otherwise known as Zero Panda, with C playing Falstad, XY on Sylvanas, Top playing Zeratul, Ale on Karazim, and 6 playing ETC. Wolf is the god of hair.
Yeah, man. The guy's a legend when it comes to hair.
I thought he was known for his beard. Here's the Star Dream TSD, GD playing Li Ming, Monk on, God, he confuses me every time, Greymane. That was really fast! Kite playing Johanna again on Rhaegar, and Thrall played by somebody.
Well, when it comes to the early game, TSD does have the better team fight. But when it comes to rotations and splitting, I mean, you got the global presence from Falstad that can soak multiple lanes and suddenly fly into a fight. And then, of course, having the split push presence with Sylvanas, which is being utilized right here, getting some easy damage. Onto that fort.
It's a good rotation by Rhaegar and Li Ming, responding to the Sylvanas. Trying to make sure that they can keep up with her. There's Lightning Bond on Rhaegar again, too. It's like my favorite new talent.
I like Lightning Bond a lot.
Yeah, me
We're
too.
starting to see it a lot more in competitive. Let's take a look at other talents here. Regen Master from Zeratul going for a more sustained style, which I think is the better option versus this much damage, this much poke from Li Ming and Thrall. And Greymane too, as we're starting to see most Greymane players transition into the more poke sustain style, where you're standing in human form as long as possible. You get the movement speed at level 13. Falstad in a bad spot, does barrel roll. The gem comes out. Nice kill from Li-Ming, gets the resets, no follow-up kills, but really well done from TSD.
The TSD domination begins. We may be having another 2-0. The first temple phase about to spawn mid and top, of course. And we'll see how these teams are splitting up. But Thrall right in position to get the top one. At least Falstad coming back, he can fly in pretty quickly, although he may not have it up as he's, or wanting to save it as he's taking the slow route back. Karzim pushing Thrall off of the top. TSD holding part of mid, although they get chucked off by the Temple Guardian. And it looks like mid is their concern, as Thrall was rotating to the mid and is continuing to do so. They're fighting over the watchtower too. Six
doing what he can to stall out shots, going in when he sees a moment to just stop the shots for a few seconds, delay for his team as they're just about to get top, and he's holding the point very well. Top's going to come down as well, try and force Joanna to move off the point, but it's a 3 versus 3 here. A lot of damage actually with Falstad flying in 4 versus 4 now, but here comes Thrall from above. Could be in a lot of trouble. 6 is going to be the first to fall. Joanna goes down as well. Li-Ming combo coming out. Top's in a lot of trouble. Thrall going for the chase. Does get very far deep. It does kill off Falstad. 2-for-1 exchange in favor of TSD.
Holy cow. This Li-Ming is wrecking. It was good when they got the 1-for-1, but losing the Falstad 2, they get the rest of the shots there. The top temple has concluded. Looks like most of it went on to the side of, well, Zero was able to pick up more of that. The fort fairly low on top for TSD, but TSD in a better position with experience and positionally on the map. Oh no, oh dear, oh Rhaegar.
A lot of damage going down on the Rhaegar. Again, trying to get out of here. He needs to get into his wolf form. He does finally get up. It doesn't matter. Zeratul top going to jump on top of him with the wormhole, or excuse me, the blink. A lot of damage going down on the top. Nice kills from Karazim to keep him alive, and they get the kill on the Li-Ming as well. And Ale really showing the value of Karazim in these fights. Whenever you're consistently able to get off those auto attacks, it's something that a lot of newer Li-Ming players don't, and excuse me, Karazim players don't do, is get the autos off in the fight.
Yep.
And it really increases your healing down, and we see that there. Is this going to be another death here? Wings is going to go down too. Wow, 4-for-1. Zeratul being the only death there for his Zero.
I'm sitting here scratching my head.
Yeah, that was puzzling.
That was puzzling, and the Sylvanas is going to get a lot of pushing done and nearly take out a tower in the bottom, and that's always good because the next temple phase will be bottom. And the more that you can get done to those structures, the more you can hopefully ensure that you'll take out the fort if you can get all of that temple. You can get level 7. Stuff looks very standard. We do have the Calamity build for Li-Ming. When you're up against a Zeratul, build, or just a Zeratul in general, you really have to, it's generally what you're going to see for a Li-Ming.
Well, Bruisers, or excuse me, Siege Camp going over to Zero Panda here. Bruisers in the top being done by TSD, so they're going to be pushing with that way. Falstad's already up there to try and deal with that, but the Shrine is spawning, so it leaves Zero in an awkward spot. Do they clear out the Bruisers, or do they fly Falstad down, and could delay them for this contention down here?
By the way, Zeratul with a very auto-attacked focus build, and somebody just died. Thrall got taken out in the top, and just in time for the temple phase. But with the earlier Bruiser pick up for TSD, their rotations were faster, and they started getting a few of the shots from this temple, but Zero rotating down 2, and without Thrall, they're going to be maybe a little bit more cautious. They know Zeratul was in mid. Now he's going to be missing Falstad, still having to deal with the Bruisers up top. Thrall starting to head back, but Zero getting pretty close to their heroic abilities, Zoya.
Yeah, very, very close. About a quarter level to go as the siege is happening. Most of the shots being controlled right now by TSD, though. Falstad and Zeratul still soaking. They do get those heroics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Divine Palm's going to be the pickup here for Karazim. Of course, nice power slide from 6, trying to get some damage onto Joanna. And no heroics out of the ordinary here for Zero. Not going to be able to secure any kills right away. But like you said, yeah, Zeratul and Falstad immediately flew down. They're not going to be getting any value right now. They're trying to force the fight now that it's 10 versus 9, but really safe play coming out from TSD.
Now they're looking for the rotation zone, especially to see if TSD are going to try to take their giants, but of course TSD know that they are on this side of the battleground. They know that they are going to be trying to find somebody and press the advantage while they have 10. So they just need to play it as safely as possible. If they have to sacrifice this fort, if they have to sacrifice the giants, that's fine in favor of not losing more, not losing that in addition to some hero kills. But there goes the fort. Heroics are grabbed by TSD, and standard stuff. Except we have Wave of Force instead of Disintegrate.
Which I think is becoming standard versus the ETC. Lots of damage coming down, but no follow-up there. Sundering down, still every heroic up on the end for 0, so nice exchange there for them as they didn't have to waste anything. As well as Buster's Shield went down. Buster's Shield, though, a considerably smaller cooldown, especially since you do have that battle momentum at level 7. Going into level 12, 0 will have a full level lead to see if they're willing to force a fight. And everything's really going to be coming down to, are the VPs on point? Zero's tool is going to be looking to isolate the Rhaegar outside of the Greymane and Li Ming and try and kill one of those targets.
Yeah, they have such good follow-up too if they land a huge VP because they have Mosh Pit and Wailing Arrow. So a lot will come down to that. Lee, like for the interrupts for Mosh Pit, they're relying on Wave of Force, Johanna too, and then they don't want to have to use Sundering, but I guess if they have to, they can do that. But still, it's pretty limited to their just a few heroes.
Well, we'll see here what Zero wants to do to try and push their lead. That secures level 13 here. I like this invade here from TSD to secure the Giants in the bottom left, and you know, they're taking a win whenever they're, you know, supposed to be taking a loss, which is
this is
really
not a good trade.
Show himself to that tower so he's going to back up. That secures level 13 here. I like this invade here from TSD to secure the Giants in the bottom left, and you know, they're taking a win whenever they're, you know, supposed to be taking a loss, which is
this is
really
not a good trade.
Well, at this point, yeah, they need to back and defend this escape.
The Sylvanas is just wrecking TSD. Like they're just rotating around and taking some sort of structure. Wings is now trying to go in and maybe catch somebody as Kai circles around. They could hit a good Blessed Shield or Sundering, but everyone from Zero gets out in time. And the Temple Phase is about to spawn, so what are TSD going to do? They don't have 13. They really don't want to get into a full-on engage. They wanted to catch somebody out while they knew that Zero was spread out and not all together. But now Falstad's flying to the bottom, and yeah, they get their bruisers, but both of the temples are going to be held by Zero for now. They need to move on to at least one of these and not lose both of them.
Karazim gets off the point, knowing that he was in trouble. The collapse was happening here. Sylvanas split pushing mid lane, doing as much damage as she can, just to save as many shots as possible. And this will be the last standing fort here for TSD going down. Really passive shot calling coming out from TSD, though. They really need to be sieging in this top fort. They are way too spread out. They're just kind of standing around, assuming a fight's coming their way. They need to be doing something else with their time, besides just soaking the shots. Yes, they're down a talent here, but whether it was soaking another lane or you know, pushing in a tower. Sundering does come out onto Ale. Not going to get too much value out of it, though. Another whiff Sunder here from TSD.
Yep.
XY coming in from below. A lot of damage from top going on to Greymane.
6 gets pretty low. GD still doing all of the Li Ming damage that has been very, very consistent. There is the Mosh Pit into the Divine Palm, so stopping it actually meant that they had to proc Divine Palm. Pretty genius there. Somebody is very low. Is that Rhaegar? Yes, Thrall, who just gets wrecked as soon as they get out of that Void Prison, and now the chase is on for Zero Panda. Li Ming damage still coming out is maybe dissuading this chase just a bit. 6 still trying to catch Monk, who is going after Ale, and both will go down. And still, this is an engagement favoring Zero, as Li Ming is going to be in trouble, and the sole survivor for TSD is Rhaegar. And Zero, they have the Sylvanas, they have the potential to push off of this. But with several members low, I'm not sure if they will. It looks like they do want to at least try to chase him down.
Well,
wow.
He's going to end up surviving there. 3-level lead for Zero out of nowhere. That was a very destructive fight. And now all the keeps are going to be taking damage from these next shrines for Zero. They have got the forts down. They've got a big structure lead. 11 kills to 5. Taking a look at level 16 talents here. What is that Falstad one? I can't see that from here.
What, at 16?
Yeah, the screen share is blurry.
Oh, that's Or the Tailwind.
Oh,
Airy Gus.
The Tailwind talent at 16, right?
Yeah, I'm still getting used to this art.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check that.
Well, we'll see here what Zero wants to do. They could potentially try and force a fight, as they do. That's one thing that Zero hasn't been doing this game, is they've had an advantage and they haven't been really like forcing anything with it. They just kind of rotate around the map and wait for objective spawns, which is the safe way to play, sure, but that also gives TSD options to try and force their way back into this game, not punishing whenever you're this far ahead. Try and find an advantageous fight or take positioning elsewhere. Go for a push. I mean, they really haven't been utilizing the Sylvanas at all this game.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty low after that fight, so maybe that was the concern, but just now they're starting to work on the boss. And this is nice, at least, because they have a false dad, and also TSD, if they wanted to try to fight this, they'd be fighting into the 16, and they could potentially wipe them from there, but that's not even going to be the case, as the boss is taken down super fast. Now TSD, Johanna maybe even caught out of position here, trying to get away, and she won't do that, as that is another kill for Zero Panda. And TSD all going back to try to take care of this boss, all trying to get level 16 as well.
It's going to be a big push in the bottom. This is a boss. The keep is exposed. There's only one tower standing, and there's a Sylvanas pushing with it, Gilly. This could be not only keep, but this could be game if they can get a kill or two here. 20 seconds still on Joanna. The well's falling very fast. Sylvanas is disabling the minions and the keep, so the boss is still going to maintain a lot of its health here. 3/4 HP left on. A good poke from Li Ming so far, but this keep is definitely going down. Is Zero willing to go for more here? And they're already starting to back out, so that doesn't seem to be the case. They're willing to get their keep and rotate to mid and top as there are 2 shrines spawning.
Yeah, there's double temples. They've been playing the safe game this entire time, and I see no reason to change that as they have been wrecking. They still have 2 forts up even. They've just gotten so much done with the Sylvanas and with the Battleground objectives. The boss now being taken out, and the members of TSD, they want a fight. They know they need one right now. They go after the mid temple, but Zero is just going to disengage. They only have a level until they get to 20. And you mentioned it before, that yes, the temples are going to help them as they're finally going to be able to take out another fort, but still they're just so far behind here that it's definitely Zero Panda's game to lose.
Well, the good thing is that they finally took out that bottom fort, which is the most important one. If they get to the point where they take a boss late game that goes straight into a keep, so they have that avenue open now for a potential way to come back and end this series. But Zero, with a 2.5 level lead right now, getting so close to level 20. TSD needs to make something happen soon. They've got catapults pushing bot lane. They're about to have all of Zero pushing mid lane with the Sylvanas, so it's going to be another keep going down. You already see Wing starting the back, and yeah.
Oh, I guess just push in the mid.
Yeah, they're not going for core. They're going for another keep. And Zero, that's just kind of how Zero's been playing this game. Is just uncharacteristically for any team really safe.
They're buying time for their 20 though. And Falstad's going to fly up and steal some shots from the temple.
Yeah. Good points.
And they steal the Giants, which will push in that bottom lane for somebody to go and respond to that. And they're going right back. They know that the members are up here. They go right back after that mid keep. They're like, we don't need temples. We'll just take out the keep ourselves if we need to. And they're just about on Storm Talents. TSD all come back except for Thrall. But miraculously, they saved the keep. But now they're split up.
Nice save there, but again, 20 versus 18. Storm talents, I mean, you get rewind on Zeratul, which allows them to be more aggressive. Bolt of the Storm on Sylvanas, which, Thrall, Greymane, and Li Ming are already having trouble killing Sylvanas. Now a little bit more mobility is going to help out a lot. And they're going to go ahead and invade this Bruiser camp. Lots of damage going down on it again. He's trying to get inside the Void Prison, but he's already so low and can't Ancestral himself.
He's still making it out of there, and the mosh pit actually gets people blown away from it, so they're saved. Ancestral healing, bringing Wings back to the fight.
They're winning this fight.
Yeah, but it was the Mighty Gust and the mosh pit was pretty huge for them. But now can they actually take people out? They really need to win it now. And again, still coming in with the heals. Monk in a lot of trouble. The positioning so far away from the healer. And Greymane is the first one to get taken out in the fight. Even though Zero botched the beginning of this fight, making it work. There's the aggressive fly to catch somebody up in the top. Goodbye. The rest of these Bitbursts, though, will get saved. Thank you, Observer.
I mean, that just like shows you the power of level 20 versus 18. Greymane almost killed Sylvanas there, and we're literally just talking about Bolt of the Storm. That saved Sylvanas' life in that situation. You know, just shows you the advantage having Storm talents can bring you. Really interesting decision making from Zoia to go for the final keep. I mean, you don't get experience from custom games, guys. You can just kind of go for the core at this point.
They're not going for the core.
But they are playing. Again, like I said, for any team, uncharacteristically safe. That was a very easy avenue to go core. But they're, like I said, playing this as safe as possible. They're going to go ahead and get the rest of those shots in the top lane.
There aren't enough shots to win the game. And we go to a game number 3 after this, too.
I mean, at this rate, with how safe these guys are playing, they're never going to be able to end. So this could still be TSD's game to come back in.
Well, they're all back up. Ancestral is seconds away from being ready. So they can try to get into a fight before Mosh Pit is back up.
Well, boss is here. Looks like they're finally willing to maybe go for core. No? Can't tell. It looks like they might just be shoving in waves of catapults. Rotating around as well as they can. Keeping TSD in their base. They're just about to have level 20. Core's already taken some damage. So essentially what TSD needs to do now that they have 20 is they need to shove out a few waves, and they need to force a fight ASAP.
Yeah.
And get a complete wipe. They need to make some magic happen right now because they are running out of time. These catapults will eventually take out their core.
Yeah, they can't wait around for another Temple Phase 2. They've got to make a fight happen, and they can pull them to the boss. The way that Zero has been playing has been so safe that if they pull them to the boss, I don't think they'll even try to backdoor. Yeah, they're just going to come to the boss instead. Top realizes it. They have the Void Prison. He's been sought out, though, with the blinds. Here comes 6. The boss is down. The Wailing Arrow has been thrown out. There's some Storm Shields, a big mosh pit on 2 members, and Li Ming does throw out damage, but with the Mighty Gust, they're able to steal the boss, who goes right into the Void Prison. 2 people down, and finally, we may actually see Zero win the game here.
Where was the Sundering there? They had some, like, the point of Sundering is to control a point like this, and he didn't use it. Really curious play coming out from Thrall.
Maybe he was about to do it and got hit by the VP. But I guess it was too late. The boss was already in the VP. Either way,
GG.
GG's, Zero wins. We go to game 3.
Yeah. But who knows? Zero Panda might be playing a little bit too safe some more and might be afraid to push with this. You never know. Yeah, take a look at Sylvanas damage, 48,000. 8,000 head a second, which was Li Ming from the other team. Sylvanas has real damage, guys. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, dudes, do not take forever for your next draft.
Dude, Leffen looks pissed.
Oh, where's that link of what Leffen looks like? Wolf posted it in chat.
I can get a new one.
I'm eating some breakfast.
I'm going to eat during the break.
What break?
The break between sets that we get. You know, the 15 minutes of downtime, but when they swap out the teams.
Do they do that even? Do they have a long break even when it goes to full game 3?
Yeah, because they have to get the players off the stage and then onto the stage.
You're right, he does look like him.
Told you, it's freaking Leffen, man.
Oh.
And Leffen's known for being like an angry, salty Smash player. And that guy looks angry and salty always.
I had a point I was gonna make. Oh,
cool.
Yeah, I forgot it was a LAN. I don't know why. I was like, oh, maybe we won't have as long of a break, but that would make sense.
It's a LAN event.
Yep. Just things that you think of when you start casting at 5 a.m. Am I wearing a half jacket? No, it's a full jacket. I just couldn't decide if I wanted my
Thanks
jacket
for
on or not.
the energy, Sohinky. Later, man. Much
Sohinky.
accepted.
Thank you.
I want to wear an outfit like that girl has. Looks like it would feel. It just looks like it feels comfortable. Those sleeves look really comfortable.
Sleeves. Yeah, it's for sure the sleeves.
Yeah, I want to wear that outfit. I think I could pull it off too. That's the important thing.
Totally. Alright, so we're gonna be game number 3. We had Tomb of the Spider Queen. We had Sky Temple. Both of those were TSD's pick. I wonder if TSD will pick first pick or map pick. We haven't seen them lose yet, either. It's the first loss we've seen for them. Stark.
You did it right, Stark. You're my hero.
I think the sun is rising out this window. Not sure if I've seen this before. Is it rising here? I think it's raining here.
Nice.
I don't like when it rains because then my dog refuses to go outside. I'm talking about you. Are you gonna die?
Maybe.
I thought you slept.
Not enough. Only like 5 hours.
Didn't you go to bed right away?
Yeah, but I woke up early.
Why?
No. Because my body turned on.
Had to play some Space Lads? Or you were just so pumped to cast some...
We don't play Space Lads. We're the space. Get out of here, nerd. You just don't get me at all. Play Space Lads, yeah. I'm gonna go play Caster too. I am a Space Lad, Gilly.
We were seriously tilted by this.
Because you hurt my feelings.
I forgot, Ganry, that today is Zoya's birthday. I should be nicer to him.
I'm gonna hang up. You're gonna solo cast the rest of the day.
Daniel J. Newman, my dog also hates to be wet. If I hold him over like a glass of water, he starts doggy paddling. It's like a pretty hilarious trick. And he'll do that over anything. One time somebody was power washing the driveway like 5 feet away of my
I'm just gonna
apartment
start
complex.
banning everyone in this chat.
What? Why? Feels birthday, man. Yeah, they were like power washing the driveway, and he like saw the water, and I was holding him, and he just started doggy paddling. Like, no, don't let them power wash me. He hates being wet. How's your birthday been so far today? These guys take way too long. Were they taking this long yesterday between drafts? I thought it was faster. Look at that face. You kind of can't see it because the bar is covering. There you go. It's better. Yeah, you can definitely see it now.
It's my birthday. I do what I want.
Yeah, Stark, it's ridiculous. I swear they didn't take the song yesterday.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have no downtime between this and
I know.
and they qualifier.
That's what I'm freaking out about. I'm really worried about that, man. You need some downtime.
We ain't getting any. We ain't getting any. When do we get the next space slots? I don't know. We haven't been able to record one in a few days because of all the casting. We'll probably start recording for the next space slides tomorrow night.
Oh man. Okay. Here we go. At least hopefully we can rely on EDG getting a 2-0. Because seriously. Just wake up.
We're almost there, team. Bow, chicka bow. Chicka mo, chicka mo.
What are you laughing at? How we still don't have a draft?
Yeah.
What is the dealio with these teams?
The dealio, Foshamilio, yo, Zoia. Watch the highlight? Oh. I'll watch the highlight and find out why there was no Thunder in that fight. Leffen looks pissed.
Guys, you have got to get faster at drafting. You are full on making someone take a nap right now. And it's not Zoia.
Yeah, I want to be taking a lot.
You think Braveheart Super is the better Braveheart? I'd be sad for Braveheart. They both were bad yesterday. Or they struggled.
Speaking about struggles, it's not a struggle to watch Space Lads because it's very easy. It's fun and enjoyable. Hashtag check out our newest episode.
I came back to cams because there's really no telling how long it's going to take to get this draft going. Never go full nap.
Can you restart the screen share again? It's doing that one thing.
Yep.
Where it's being laggy. Gilly's not a traitor. She would never do that. Gamble Tour.
Yeah, Gamble Tour.
Plus, that game is boring.
Overwatch is not really my thing. I love Heroes. You play Overwatch all the time.
Not anymore. It got boring.
We're not all
Space
soldiers
Lads
now?
were playing the Overwatch all the time. But the game got boring.
On a scale of 10 to 10, how tired are you guys? Right now, I'm more tilted. I've had coffee, so I'm not like super tired. But I cannot believe how long these teams are taking a draft. I'm full tilt. What is the deal? Surely there's like some sort of technical issue. I wish the guy we had yesterday translating some stuff for us knew what was going on. See, yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh, snap. Utah's about to lose.
Is that the last qualifier?
I don't think so, is it?
Oh my gosh, guys, guess what? Guess what? Draft screen. We in there. TSD with first pick, first ban.
I have to watch Dignitas lose.
Okay, you watch Dignitas. I'll let you know what's happening in this draft.
Nice. So,
You tell me what happens at Dayton House, though. Who are they playing?
I don't know. CLG?
Sweet, dude. TSD ban Zool on Infernal Shrines. That is a smart ban, for sure. Zero, Panda. They allowed Thrall through. Thrall was a big deal for TSD, and it wasn't a problem for them. Like, Zero didn't have a problem with that Thrall. They
I wonder why they
banned...
banned Zool from first pick. That's what I'm more curious about.
That's what Zero did last game, though, too.
Yeah, I just, well, I mean, on that map, I guess it's just more of like, maybe not stylistically, but on this map, like, Zool's like, you know, S tier.
Maybe they can't play them. And
When you
so
hit W and auto attack things.
Yeah, but you never know. Maybe they can't play him. There's Thrall.
Another Thrall first pick.
2 picks for Zero. They prioritized Kael'thas first game, Sylvanas second game. Actually, Sylvanas both games. So they may grab her early here. His team probably keeps talking about drafting lately.
That's not TSD's team, though, is it?
What team is Leffen on?
Leffen's on TSD.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Panda.
Panda's the one that runs the Louis. Next 2 picks here, I mean, Leeming, Greymane are up. Greymane, Uther, Murden, Greymane, Kael'thas, which we've already seen their Kael'thas. It's not too great. There's the Falstad, and there's the ETC. All right. We saw them pick both these heroes last game.
Yep. I think they could very likely get Sylvanas potentially after the draft or after the fold, since they've been getting her every single game. TSD, though, they have 2 picks. With seeing the ETC, are they going to pick up Murden here? Because Johanna worked for them game 1, but they struggled last game.
I mean, Johanna's good on this map, though.
That's true.
Condemn on the points. Point contention is more important than almost anything on this map.
Probably Greymane Rhaegar, then? That's what they did last game. There's Greymane.
There's the Greymane. So Greymane, Thrall, Sylvanas. Lots of damage, lots of push. So mid-tier bans. Probably going to be seeing a Murden ban or an Uther ban, depending on which support Zero wants to run, what comp they're running to run. I wouldn't mind actually seeing a Rhaegar ban here.
They could also ban a warrior.
But if they do go with the Rhaegar ban, they risk Uther getting banned out versus them, and they have to go with a 3rd-tier support. They're going to go ahead with the Murden ban and deny the warrior to TSD.
Who did TSD ban? They banned Kael'thas here?
No, not based off game 1. You want them to be on
Yeah,
Kael'thas.
but he's good on... He's better on Shrines. Maybe that was a warm-up game, dude.
Yeah.
Some sort of damage dealer. Zerator. That makes sense. 2 more picks for Zero. Uther, if they want the Divine Mosh.
Yeah, that'd be good. And giving Divine Shield to Thrall and Greymane, not ideal.
What about Uther Sonya?
This Sonya would be okay. Good point contention. Sonya's one of the best at it.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Good melee assassin. And then I can last pick Tassadar as well. There's a Sonya.
Yeah.
Rhaegar. Okay, so no Uther. Rhaegar's fine too, though. So Uther going to be the pickup here for TSD for sure.
Uther Johanna?
Could be. Dahaka's not too bad on this map.
Or Tyrael.
Tyrael Karazim. Definitely not the direction I thought they'd be going.
Was Uther banned? No?
No.
Okay.
They just decided not to run him.
Yeah, Tess. Can't fault that. So
Okay.
Tyrael helps with the supporting.
Yeah. I mean, still, though, we'll see. I think,
What do you think TSD's game plan is?
it's to kill a target before Ancestral connects, which is
Okay.
why they're running a very all-in style. They've got Sanctification to keep Greymane and Thrall diving deep. They've got the Divine Palm to allow him to escape once he's dove in deep.
With Tash Shields, it's going to be more difficult for them, for sure. Soon, TM, we will be in game number 3 between TSD and Zero Gaming, Zero Panda. This has been the longest series of my life, for sure.
Definitely feel that, definitely feel that
Hello?
definitely feel that Zero won the draft there. We'll see if that's going to play out, because I felt like they won the draft game 1.
Do you feel like maybe they need to play from a disadvantage to win something? Is that your thought process?
No, I don't have a thought process right now. I'm just kind of speaking.
Okay. Well, we are ready for game number 3, guys. There's the crazy loud music. Screw you, music.
Damn, this game.
I hope it's not tech stuff. I hope it's just the teams being this way so that the rest of the teams go faster. Here we go on Infernal Shrines for game number 3. In blue is Zero Panda with Z playing Falstad, XY on Tastar, Top playing Sonya, Ale on Rhaegar, and 6 playing ETC. Zero Gaming. Winners of the last game to bring it back to 1-1. In the red is the Star Dream, otherwise known as TSD, with GED on Sylvanas, Monk playing Greymane, again on Karazim, Wings playing Thrall, and Kite on Tyrael.
I'm sad.
Why?
Dignitas won. Would have been hilarious if they lost. But, oh well. Yeah, so level 1 here, guys. And you gotta keep in mind, Sonya on this map, a lot of it comes to just having a hero that can sit on the point and contest it.
Tyrael's
wow, a
already
lot of
in
damage
trouble.
going on the Tyrael. And this is leads to the point I was trying to say, that Sonya's one of the best people to sit on the point. She's really tanky, has the spins to keep herself alive, got some mobility, whereas the main lead for the points for TSD is Tyrael, which, as you saw there, very squishy hero, despite being a warrior. So when it comes to who can control the shrines, I mean, they got a pretty big advantage.
I want to point out that although we've been seeing a lot of Falstad players going for the Gathering Storm, and even in the last game, C was playing the Spellcaster style with the Gathering Storm, and then the Airy Gusts Tailwind build too, to have more of those hammerings. This game, Falstad is going for Seasoned Marksman, is rotating between bottom and mid. And they found Kite, who once again has to teleport to his Eldra's Might. But yeah, they're completely controlling the rotations, Zero are. And with the Seasoned Marksman, going for more of the old school auto attack build for Falstad. But if there's ever a map where you can do it, definitely like this or Tomb, where you're able to control those rotations.
Yeah, definitely. Trying about the spawn here in the bottom. See which teams want to contest it. Or which heroes are going to go contest it, rather. It looks like they're all staying in the top lane for now. Zero realizing they have a small experience lead, they'll need to soak top if they do want to get 4. They can soak mid and bottom and get it, just at the same time as TSD. Which is what they're doing. And the Shrine has spawned, is going to be an Arcane Punisher. So as you can see here, top already contesting the point with 6. And
Falstad is going top.
position.
Looks like he'll continue with those rotations and building the Seasoned Marksman stacks. He's going to be the one to just try to continue to let the team get more experience. And it makes a lot of sense because he's Falstad. He can always fly in if he's needed. And he's not even needed at this point. Although top starting to get low, Eldra's Might helping Tyrael come in here. And TSD pick up first blood in this game.
Yep, very easy kill onto Sonya there, just a little bit of an overextension. And like you said, they sent C top to soak at the ball side. So the fact that they're contesting that 5 versus 4 so heavily is a really big mistake on the end of Zero. They're trying to get back on this point with ETC and Tastar to just, stall out a few minions, force them to back up, maybe get some free poke as Sonya's headed over. But without the threat of Tastar or Falstaff, that's going to be a very easy Immortal win here for TSD. And, Gilly, they have the Sylvanas.
They do have Sylvanas, so they should be able to get a lot more out of this Punisher. When you have a first one, a lot of times you're just looking at getting the tower since it's going to be baited over just like that. But if they can bring down these towers fast and start turning off the fort, then they can hopefully be able to push onto that fort and help the Punisher take it out instead of just getting the towers. And that is exactly what we are seeing from TSD as the Punisher gets baited over behind this tower. TSD are just going to walk away knowing that they picked up a fort a lot more than you would normally ever get from that first Punisher.
Sylvanas, she's Gosu.
She is Gosu.
She is very Gosu. Level 7 almost here for TSD, just about a quarter level ahead of Zero. And the top going to go down here, actually. Another kill onto Sonya.
And they're just going to split back out into their lanes off of that kill, off of the big win from that bottom Punisher. And they can spread out, start to get some mercenary camps and putting pressure, especially on this bottom lane. Anytime that they can get damage and minions into the bottom lane too, that'll be really good since they will be going to the keep. These ones will go mid, but if they can get that bottom mercenary camp for sure, that would be great for them since it's more of a stress point for Zero than the other lanes.
Yeah, definitely. Bruiser camp being taken here in the top right by TSD. Siege camps being worked on by Zero as they're going to be rotating the map, cleaning up each other's messes. But still a small experience lead here for TSD, trying to find a way to push that even further. And taking a look at the talents, I'm not seeing anything too out of the ordinary here. What's that level 7 talent on Sylv? That's the exploding, right? Unstable poison?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it on Sable Poison once since her change.
Really?
Yeah. Most people still go Barb Shot, which is now at 7.
Right.
So, definitely an interesting pickup there from TSD.
Maybe they want to have somebody who can be that person who rotates between lanes and clears them out pretty fast while the rest are getting mercenary camps or fighting at the shrine.
Well, I love the waiting on capping this. Unfortunately, though, for TSD, they do realize that's in the top. Or in, I guess, the top middle. So that allows a easy rotation for Zero to clean up that Bruiser camp. But it will still get some value, stalling out the rotation from Falstad at least.
TSD in clearing out some of their minion waves is in the lead to get their heroic abilities, but Zero is right behind them as this frozen Punisher is starting to get picked up by the teams. Sylvanas staying in the bottom, trying to help the team secure those heroic abilities just a little bit faster, realizing that Zero will probably get more passive once they don't, once they're down those, and that gives their team time to get ahead in the minions, and that is what we see happening. TSD even using GD to kind of pull some people down to have to push her off of the structures too, so just causing craziness in the lives of Zero.
Well, heroics have been taken by both teams, not seeing anything too crazy on either end. Of course, we'll not be seeing stage that will be Mosh Pit this game. And of course, as always, right now we're seeing Divine Palm from Karazims. Punisher's already getting some value here as it dives in deep. Front wall already down here for Zero, and this fort probably going to follow. The Sylvanas really showing her value, but a gust into the corner pumps everyone up.
Now they're starting to work on C, though, who did get hit, but the Ancestral Healing keeps him alive, and now a mosh pit on lots of members, and 2 people quickly going down for TSD. The fight rages on as, again, must Radiant Dash over the Force Wall, but 6 catching him means that he will get taken out, and Eldrain's Might saves Tyrael, but only 2 people remain. The Punisher does quite a lot to the fort, but they should be able to keep it alive.
That was...
The Mighty Gust.
Well, not the Gust.
No?
Karazim Radiant dashed into the mosh pit.
I did not see that.
Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake, not being able to cleanse, not being able to palm, and then watching his team die. So big misstep there coming out from their support player, and that suddenly gives Zero a half-level lead, and they save the fort, like you said.
I was like, whoa, that gust with the wall still up. It was a perfect place. TSD, though, getting right back into it, hopping back on that horse, trying to steal away the mercenary camp of Zero. Falstad flying in. Does have gust once again if they need it. Force wall going down.
Well, lots of damage going down onto the point, but they do end up securing it, get the invade, and that should be the death of this middle fort here, as it was just a tickle away from death, and it will go down, maybe, one day.
Oh my gosh.
It's holding. Shield's starting to fall, though. That should be its death. Well, eventually, one chain lightning. There you go.
We go.
But the throw overextend for the chain lightning. Sundering comes
Sundering.
up, puts 3 people in the corner. Sanctification follow-up. Nice wheeling arrow on the ETC, and the ETC is going to fall.
They made that happen despite the fact that it was really just trying to save their skin after getting caught. But with Sylvanas, they're going to take full advantage of this, bringing down the towers in front of the keep. So later on, if there is a mid Punisher, it can't be baited over the towers and brought down using the keep, and Sylvanas can get right on the keep. That's one thing that I have noticed that has been really good from TSD, is the minute they bring down the towers in front, GD gets on the fort so that there's no extra damage ever put on the Punisher.
Well, 13 here for TSD, taking a look at talents. I mean, if Karazim's going to be Radiant dashing into mosh pits, then Relentless is going to help that. Is that a heal at 13 on Sylvanas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Life drain.
Like, these guys.
What?
All right, TSD. Whatever, man.
Okay, aside from that, standard things for teams. Yes.
Well, point contention here. TSD with the small lead right now in minions. Ball set a little bit late for the fight. When it comes to heroics, Wrath is up in 4 seconds. Wailing Arrow's up now, so just about to have every heroic on the table available. 6 looking for the power slide. Already showing the power of Sylvanas and a Thrall when it comes to these pokes, Chain Lightning, and, of course, the dozen.
The Observer's like drifting.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Observer, please.
Tyrael the first fall in this fight. We talked about it before, how just Zoia is much more of a bully on the points, and Tyrael going to struggle. Ends up going down with no Divine Palm used or Sanctification.
Why is it so far over to the side? Scoot over. All right, Panda's going in for the power slide. That is 6. Going to make Monk be scared, get back. Takes a lot of damage. Is going to disengage so that he can start throwing out the Gilnean cocktails. May have the will tap. They're going to need it because they have lost this Punisher. And here comes the Punisher. Oh, they bait it over the wall. There is the bait. It's nice. Far back so they can start doing damage. But 6 right on its heels to try to make sure that his team has the time needed to take out the first fort for on TSD's base. And there it will be brought down. Punisher's still fairly healthy, too. They could continue on with this.
My leg itches.
Or the Observer was tilting me so hard.
Oh, I can tell. Punisher getting cleaned up pretty easily here, as the push did end with it. And, you know, just from that one push alone, you can see the difference between having a Sylvanas and not having Sylvanas, even though this Punisher was later in the game than the first Punisher that TSC got by, you know, a good 7 minutes. It got about the same amount of damage.
Right. But Panda is eking ahead in experience. They're full level lead. They're about to get 16. And that's why we see Thrall, who has been sitting in the lanes trying to catch them up in experience for sure. And just trying to safely soak where they can, but making sure they don't get caught. There's a lot of people who can catch them out. And especially like between Zoia and ETC, keep them locked down, even Earthbind Totem to slow them down so they can't escape. And here's a case of not being able to escape. Sanctification has to be used by Tyrael just to keep himself alive. Mighty Gust pushing people back into the base. allow the disengage for the team. But yeah, if someone gets caught, it's very difficult for them to try to escape from the team. And that's what's happening with Tyrael as he goes down. He comes in with Archangel's Wrath. Ancestral Healing brings 6 back to life. Might have been a little bit early, but at least they are all very healthy as they start to siege this fort.
You said butt panda.
Butt panda.
Level 16 for Zero. I mean, this is when Sonya gets her monstrous power spike, allows her to just be so much more aggressive with the shield that she gets. We're going to see Earthgrass Totem for Rhaegar. I'm going to be able to help catch people out of position a lot more than they already are, which they've been doing a good job so far. 5 kills to 3.
I'm really happy about ETC's new art because he definitely needed it, but it's pretty tough to like see.
At this point, I just associate like what talent it is with colors.
Yeah, you have to rely on the colors. Is it speed metal at 16?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look. Speed metal or echo pedal, they both have their own art.
There's no way it's Echo Pedal. If it's Echo Pedal.
We saw one yesterday.
Yeah, but that was with Stage Dive, wasn't it? So that made sense.
I think it's speed metal for sure. Yeah,
Oh.
It is.
Wings trying to get on the point, get some minions.
Echo pedal
Still.
is purple. Okay.
Zero with a slight advantage here. Wings looking for the trade, gets the root onto top. Tyrael getting blown up again. No Divine Palm or Sanctification used. Mighty Gust does come out. Another weird Gust coming out from C. He has not been getting really any value from these Gusts this game.
The Wailing Arrow came out at the same time, so a lot of heroics have been used from both of the teams, but they're going back into the fight. There's the Holy Ground separating out some of the members, but the Mosh Pit comes at the same time, and Thrall gets wrecked in the process. Kharazim goes down 2. It is a 2-0. Ancestral Healing makes sure that even Greymane can't take one single person out, and Zero now with this lead will be able to get the rest of the minions necessary to bring out this Frozen Punisher.
Is that 16 talent on Tyrael?
That's Holy Ground.
Of course that's Holy Ground. I thought I saw him use Alderans and it didn't use Holy Ground, so I was confused.
There is a
But
second
okay,
Alderans Might talent there, but nobody ever takes it. It's always the Holy Ground.
Yeah, Holy Ground is OP. Very, very OP. Zero heading into level 19, getting closer to those Storm Talents. Punisher at full HP as they move into this keep. Everyone is up on the end of TSD, so I don't know if this push will get a keep.
That
but there is a
bait
possibility.
was
Wow, okay.
not what they needed. Divine
down.
Palm does get procced. They use
What was that saying?
Sanctification.
All right, Sank used very early here for Tyrael to avoid no damage incoming. The Leap's going to go on to the 2 members here, and they're actually going to get out Wings. This could be game, Gilly, as Thrall's already fallen.
Yeah.
Punisher is still half HP. They're looking for the kill onto Kharazim. He's kiting back. Good CC, or good, kiting from TSD. But
That's
it
it.
looks like Zero's going for core. Sylvanas is dead. They're still pretty healthy here.
Yeah, the Punisher is going to wreck another person. The stuns have been huge. There's a 4th person backing away from the Archangel's Wrath as much as they can. And that... Oh, they still need to take out the keep. The Punisher was like, forget the keep.
Quick
Dude, that
rash
bait was so wrong.
Yeah, TSD deserved to lose that match. I mean, they played this really sloppy. Their talent choices were weird. I mean, they went to heal from Sylvanas at 13. They didn't go Imposing Will at 13. They went Burning Rage, which is also just really weird.
Yeah.
That talent at level 13.
Oh, God! Why with the music?
Oh, I don't hear the music.
Sorry.
I think the auto attack reduction on shields for Tyrael is
Would've
better
been.
than Holy Ground.
Yeah, it's also movement
It's
speed.
like-
Slow.
Ridiculously OP.
It's 50%. And it's a movement speed slow, too. That was strange. And then the Sank was weird. They had to use Palm early on because the bait was strange. Like, that got bungled. And that allowed the Punisher through with more health so that the team could come through. I mean, they were behind for sure in that game anyway, but there was no reason to lose the game off of that Punisher.
Yeah.
That's it for Series 1.